welcome to another video. My name is Ilse and today I bring you another video where I'm going to talk to you about how I became a reader. Like everybody else, I started reading at a very young age. I'm not exactly sure what age that was, but I did start very young. I remember from what I remember when I was, I don't know how old, I think I was like 5 or 6. It was when I started to read and write in Spanish, and at the same time I was also learning English. So my mom decided to give me like tutoring classes so that I could learn both languages at the same time, and I think that was the easiest thing that happened, like, not that ever happened to me, but it was one of the things that I was very good at from a very young age. But then fast forward a couple of years later, I remember that I was one of those people that would go to the library and check out a book and see, like, to see if it had few words and more pictures, because I just didn't want to read. And fast forward a couple of years more, I didn't enjoy reading at all, especially when it was assigned reading. I had a lot of trouble with assigned reading, guys. A lot of trouble. Like I think I've mentioned in some videos, like, or commented on the fact that I didn't used to be an avid reader as I am right now. And right now it's one of my favorite hobbies, one of my favorite things to do. If my friends ask me what I like to do, I would say read. And it's something I'd never imagined that I would say, to be honest. And some of my friends are actually surprised by the fact that I am now a huge bookworm or huge avid reader, because like I said, I didn't used to read a lot back in the day. So yeah, I think what it was mostly that none of the readings that were assigned to me were interesting enough for my taste or interested enough for me. But I guess it all started when back in 2012, which is not really that long ago. I remember when the whole boom of 50 Shades of Grey was coming out, and my friends were reading them, even their mothers were reading them. And my friends just go, you know what, just read them and we can talk about it, whatever. And I didn't want to read 50 Shades of Grey, guys. I really didn't really want to read it. But let's be honest, I got into hype, and yeah, it was a nice time while reading them. I learned a lot of the things that I would not want to do. And it scarred me for life. Some things that I googled and that I shouldn't have googled, but you know, innocent Ilse goes to Google and searches weird things that didn't know existed. But I started reading those and I read them so fast, like so fast. And after that I felt like the want to read something else, but something more that I want to, like, something that I would pick up for myself. And then I think it was when Warm Bodies, the movie, was gonna come out, and I remember watching the trailer, and I saw the comments down below, and people were like, you know what, the book is amazing, like, I'm so excited. I was like, it's a book, okay. So I searched the book, and I downloaded on my phone a PDF format, and I decided to read it during Christmas break, and I said, you know what, you don't have to rush it, because I was one of those people that, you know, cannot read a lot of pages back in the day. So I would say, okay, just read a chapter per night. I would stay back at home for 2 weeks, so I would finish the book in no time. I think it's like a 200 something page book. So I decided, you know, like, to read and stuff and see what happens. I finished it earlier than expected, and I really enjoyed it, to be honest. I think it's one of the books that really, you know, grabbed my attention to reading, like something like, oh, I enjoy this, like I might actually enjoy something more. So then I remember watching the Mortal Instruments trailer and, well, the movie City of Bones, and I remember a friend saying, oh, it's a book series, I've read the first 3 and they're very good books. And I'm like, oh, it's a book series, okay. And I remember mentioning this to my friend Martha, and she was telling me that her sister owned the series. I'm like, oh, do you think she could lend me the first book to see if I like it? And she's like, yeah, sure, I'll ask her. So the next day she brings the book, and it was the paperback edition. And if you've seen the paperback edition of the City of Bones or the Mortal Instruments series, they're like little, like they're small and they're chunky. So when I So when I saw that, I was like, shit, like I'm not even sure I'm gonna read that. Like, oh, but okay. So I decided to give it a shot, and I was on a free period back in university. Those were the days. And I remember just started reading it, and I couldn't stop from there. I went to class, kept reading it. That's how it all started. So when people ask me what series got me into reading, that was The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. So that's the series that got me into reading. A lot of you guys might probably be saying, wait, Harry Potter was not your series that you started reading? Like, what? Don't get me wrong, I love the Harry Potter series, I really do. The thing is, I started reading the Harry Potter series like backwards in a sense, because I saw all the movies until I think it was The Prisoner of Azkaban. No, I don't remember. Yeah, The Prisoner of Azkaban, and then I needed to know what happens next, and then I started to read the book because I owned the book. For some reason it was in my house, so I started to read it, and things led to another, and that's what happened. No, actually it wasn't that, it was The Order of the Phoenix. I don't remember the order of the books. Oh my god. Okay, so I had to search that. I'm sorry. So no, the last movie that I saw before reading the books was The Order of the Phoenix, and I needed to know what happened after Order of the Phoenix. And I remember I had the Half-Blood Prince at my house for some reason, because someone at an airport gave it to me. Don't ask why. I was just staring at the book, and the man or the guy, I don't remember, I was very young, just gave me the book, said, here, have it. And I'm like, okay, thanks. And my mom's like, why do you have it? Like, I don't know. She's like, you don't like to read. That just by my mom telling me that I did not like to read gives you an idea that I just wasn't an avid reader. But I decided to give it a go, and that book is chunky, guys. That book is huge. Like, if you grab the Half-Blood Prince, it's huge. So I read that, and you would have guessed what happens in that book, and I'm not sure if I'm spoiling anything, but I'm guessing everybody knows Dumbledore dies in that movie, not the movie, book. So that happened. That was very sad. Very, very sad. Yeah, I started reading the Harry Potter books back in that, like, from backwards and then backwards, but since I already watched the movies, it really didn't cause that big impact in my life, if that makes sense. So if you ask me what was the series that started it all, The Mortal Instruments, City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. And I know a lot of people hate this series, books, Cassandra Clare itself, but I enjoy them a lot, and I love the story and the characters, and I just love the whole Shadowhunter world altogether. And I'm always gonna love the Shadowhunter world, so that happened. So yeah, that's my story. I know it's not really that long of a story because, you know, you have to start somewhere. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and please tell me down below how you started to become an avid reader. What are your favorite series? Or what was the series that started it all for you, to be completely honest? I want to know that. I want to get to know you guys. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry.